Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel, All Things Women. As discussed last week, I said I'll be talking about myself on Thursday. So today, I'll be talking mostly about moving to the UK. Why I moved to the UK, as explained previously, reason for staying in the UK, life in the UK, and lessons learned in the UK. So I decided to move to the UK because I want to further my studies. So I came in here 2012 to study international development because I was hoping to pursue a career then in diplomacy. I did my course and everything went well. And my intention for coming here to study was to go back to Nigeria after my studies. That was the intention. But as things unfold in Nigeria, especially after Lord Jonathan then left, things started getting worse, and I had to ask myself, really, do you want to go back to Nigeria? Nigeria is a beautiful country. I love Nigeria and I do miss Nigeria. Nigeria is a country that has potentials. We have a lot of natural resources. Nigeria is endowed with a lot of natural resources. And if these resources are harnessed properly, the citizens won't suffer. The citizens won't be migrating to other countries for greener pasture. It's really unfortunate what is happening in that beautiful country today. And we still hope, we Nigerians in diaspora we still hope that things will get better. I started realizing that there's no need for me to go back to Nigeria. And that was when I decided that I could stay in United Kingdom and pursue my career. So I decided to stay. And during my time, I didn't have to work. I chose not to work because, one, I felt I was going back, I didn't need it. First mistake that I made. You can really not plan. You don't know what God has in stock for you. So you take every opportunity that comes. So I didn't have to work, and I had a source of income that was sustaining me throughout the time that I was in the United Kingdom. Instead, I decided to volunteer because I wanted to learn more about the country. So I started volunteering as a humanitarian educator to go to schools to teach children, teenagers about refugees because I find it quite interesting. Prior to my moving to United Kingdom, I've read in passing about refugees, but I didn't really have in-depth knowledge of who a refugee is and what it is about. And generally, as I was volunteering with British Red Cross, I also know that they are a humanitarian organization that helps in crisis. I didn't know much about them. So I felt that was an opportunity for me to get to know about these organizations, these NGOs. And again, remember, I was hoping then to pursue a career in diplomacy. So I felt that I've got to learn more about these organizations. So I started going to schools and I was teaching about refugees, who is a refugee, and I had a better understanding why people leave their country to come to countries like United Kingdom, America, Spain, as the case may be, to look for greener pasture. So I did that and I was okay. So when I now decided that what is happening in Nigeria, I don't really see a future there, to be honest. That was when I started thinking about staying back in the United Kingdom. As usual, as I do my things, I prayed about it because I needed guidance and direction. And I got to a stage where I knew, I was convinced that, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to stay in the United Kingdom. So I stayed in the United Kingdom. Two reasons for staying is because of what's happening in Nigeria. I didn't then want to go back in Nigeria because I knew that the economy was really getting bad. From 250, I remember when the exchange rate, when I paid my fees and when for my student visa, the exchange rate then was just 250,000. It went up to 280,000 Nigerian naira to £1,000. But few years, it's just skyrocketed to 350,000 to 380. I'm not even talking about what it is now. It is up to, from what I heard in the black market, £1,000 is close to 1 million. 1 million. I can't believe that. 1 million Nigerian naira. So I realized that the way the country was going and the economy and every other thing, the insecurities, I decided that, okay, I don't really think I want to go back there. So that's one of the reasons why I stayed. And the second reason why I stayed was because I met my husband. Yay! So I met somebody that I fell in love with, and I decided to stay back here with him. I'm going to introduce my husband with time as the course of this, as this video progresses. He doesn't really like to be out there, but he does his best to support me. So that's the reason why I decided to stay in the United Kingdom. Then life in the UK, easy, my brothers and sisters. Well, every country has its ups and downs, just like I briefly mentioned about Nigeria and its ups and downs. But when you are in Africa, particularly Nigeria, and you think of this Western world, you think of abroad, you think it's so easy, so sweet, so nice, things are easy, oh my dear, oftentimes we don't really have a clue. When I was working with some of the expats in Nigeria, I worked with a lot of expatriates while I was in Nigeria. And I cannot understand, I cannot fathom why they come to my country then to work. And I remember vividly speaking with one of them, and I said to them, why have you left your country to come to Nigeria to work? And he answered me, I said, Margaret, you don't have a clue. If I have a choice, I will live in this your country forever. I never thought he was serious. I felt he was just saying it because he had a good job, and of course, oil company in Nigeria, they pay them very well, But little did I know that he really, really meant what he said until I started living in this country. In Nigeria, you don't have anything like council tax. You pay electricity bill, no doubt, but it's not like what you have here, where in the case that if you don't really pay your bills, automatically it's cut off. You don't really have any negotiation to do. In Nigeria, if you heard that the NEPA, we call them NEPA, the people are coming to cut your light or things like that, you can negotiate with them. You can talk to them and say, okay, don't worry, I'll give you this money and I'll come and pay the bills. Maybe you're too busy, you couldn't go to pay your bill. So you go, you pay the bill. So, there's negotiation. Your landlord, you could tell your landlord, I'm sorry, I can't pay this money. I'll pay you next month. In Nigeria, some tenants can be owing up to 6, 7, 8 months, even 1 year, as the case may be. But in the UK, oh dear me, you don't have any business discussing anything with anybody. You get a letter through the post. And if you don't pay your bill, you're evicted, taken to court. Your light, you don't negotiate with anyone, it goes off, they cut it off. So here you pay for electricity, you pay council tax, you pay for water, you pay for your TV license. Hello people, yes, you pay for TV license. And the amount of money you use in paying your rent here in a month, you can use that to pay for your house in Nigeria for a year. So there were so many realizations. There were so many realizations when I came into this country. And I'm thinking, wow, Nigeria is really good, you know. Nigeria is so great. But unfortunately, the leadership in that country is really what is making that country seem as though it doesn't have a future. But it's a country that has great potentials. And it's a country that can harness all its natural resources to better its citizens. But it doesn't do that. So living in the UK made me appreciate the little things that we had, or I had in Nigeria, that I didn't really take to mean anything. Take, for example, in my compound where I was in Nigeria, you have your own water, you have your own borehole, you pump your water, you do whatever you want to do, you don't ration water. But in United Kingdom, you can't just use water anyhow because you've got water bills to pay. And this water is coming from a source. So it's not like you have the access to say, okay, you don't have water, you want to go and pump. No, the water is coming from a particular source that is distributed to everyone. So living in the United Kingdom, it was a hard realization of what life is about. And suddenly it now brings to light the discussion I had with this colleague that I was working with in Nigeria, who said to me that your country is lovely, your country is sweet, you do not know what we go through in United Kingdom. I'm not saying this to put anyone who's trying to relocate to United Kingdom off. No, I'm not doing that. Rather, what I'm trying to say here is that we have this impression, we have this understanding, mentality of what abroad looks like. And when we come here, to be honest, the first few months, I was angry with myself. I knew I came to study. So during my study, it was okay. Like I said, I wasn't working because I had that mindset, finish your course, go back home. But when I started living here, I started to get angry. Initially, I was angry. I was angry because it was different. The expectations, what I thought, even a visitor, when you come to United Kingdom, you know, the excitement first, second, and after some time, like, is it what it is? Is this really United Kingdom? Is this what it is? So you kind of realize that it's not the bed of roses. Here, you've got to work hard. You've got to pay your bills. If you want something, you've got to go out and get it. It's not a child's play. It's not a child's play at all. So I've adjusted now. Of course, I've got to. I struggle because I don't understand why, after paying tax, everything you spend on the money that is left for you is also taxed. You go to the shop to buy your food, you check there is tax on it. You go to buy clothing, you're taxed on it. You pay anything after you're being taxed. Because the government, when your salary is paid, they tax you, they take their tax. So when you have that one coming into your account, that's, in quote, it's your money, everything you spend on it is also taxed. So I was angry because I was saying to myself, what is this? What am I doing? You know, why am I even in this country? So it was a challenge. But I gradually started to understand the system, and I am here today. Do I like it? Yes. Do I love it? Yes, because I have family now, and this is my home now. You know, it is my home now, and because it's my home now, I love it. But to be honest, it was a struggle then to adjust, and my husband later understood why because I was getting angry. I was like, what is all this? What is all this? What is all this? What it does? And at the time, I started thinking to myself, did I really make the right choice? Do I not want to go back? Do I really want to stay here? You know, but I thought about it hard, and I knew staying here was the best option for me. So coming to United Kingdom and settling here and living here now, yes, I am glad I did. Yes, I am glad I did, because this is a country where you know that if you're ready to work hard, if you're ready to work, definitely you have enough income to sustain your family. That is it. As long as you're ready to do the job, you get paid for it. You're not owed your salary every month. You find jobs. There's always something out there for you to do. As a starter, as a beginner, there's always something out there for you to do. So my advice for anyone trying to move to the United Kingdom is to, again, have understanding of where you're coming to. I've seen a lot of our African brothers and sisters coming to study here, and it's annoying, to be honest, because you know you're doing well in your country, whether it's Africa, whether it's Nigeria or any other African country, but because you're expecting this greener pasture, you sell everything you have. Maybe you're driving a car, you've got your own house, you know, you're living well, but you sell everything in the hopes that you're coming to this country where things are really okay, things are perfect. But when you now moved down here with your family, you realize that all those millions you think you've saved up in your country is really nothing here, because when you convert the money and you come here and you start paying your rent, suddenly you run out of money. So my advice for people moving, if you have family, is for you to think it through before coming. Think it through at least. Make sure you have enough money that can sustain you and your family for the first 6 months before you settle, before you get a job, because there are loads of things, like I mentioned in this video, that you have to pay for. And how to stay safe in this country is just to make sure that you abide by their rules. If you get a job, you're not sure of what you're doing. One good thing is that they give you the training. You don't want to show that you know how to do it all because you might make a mistake. No, just ask questions, and the ones you're not comfortable with, tell them, I'm sorry, I'm not really comfortable with this. Or ask, how do I do this? Don't be shy. They are willing, they are ready to teach you, they are ready to direct you. Ask the question, how do I do this? And they will show you. So stay safe. Remember, it's not like Nigeria where everything goes. No, everything does not go here. You've got cameras around watching you. You've got people watching you. Even your colleagues in the office, in the workplace, they are watching you. So be careful. Abide by the rules and regulations guiding your workplace. Abide by the immigration rules and regulations guiding your stay in the United Kingdom. As long as you do things by the book, as long as you do the right thing, honestly, there is no worries at all. It's a lovely country, and I want to use this opportunity to welcome others also coming to study and also coming to live in this country, because I came in as a student and I am living here now. My next episode will be talking about how I met my husband and family life in the United Kingdom. Tune in and see you soon. But don't forget to like, and subscribe. Thank you for watching again, and see you soon.